Hello everyone, my name is Freddie Mercury, and today I'm gonna teach to you about a little bit of my life, how I became who I was for a really iconic singer for Queen, obviously, and how throughout the years I became like a little bit controversy, a little bit of myself, stuff. Well, for starters, I'm gonna try to share with you some of the presentation I have about my life, about who I became I was, and everything you need to know about me. Well, let's start. Obviously, for starters, as most of you know, my name is not Freddie Mercury because I was not born into England. I was born as Farrokh Busara, and obviously I was born in on September 5th, 1946, in Stone Town in Zanzibar, now part of Tanzania. Uh, my family was of Portuguese descent, and we moved to England when I was a teenager, mostly due to the revolution that was came off throughout the years, escaping the political unrest in my home country. From an early age, I had a passion for music, teaching myself to play the piano and developing a love for rock and obviously to opera. Uh, obviously, at the same time I was developing, I met these guys named Brian May and Roger Taylor, and later on I with John Deacon, who we conformed the band named Queen. Obviously, or from England when I was a teenager. Well, here's a photo of them. Uh, the drummer is Roger Taylor, the guitarist is Brian May, and the bassist is John Deacon. All of us throughout the decade of the 70s, we became really successful in terms of things we developed. I became the lead vocalist and frontman, channeling my theatrical flair in our performances. Our music evolved, blending with rock with elements of opera, pop, and progressive rock. Songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, which last like 6 minutes, back then, during radio stations, they cannot back up songs that last more than 3 minutes, I think. Yes. Well, our song lasts like 6 minutes and became really successful. Somebody to Love and We Will Rock You. Also, if we'll be champions, like one of the most famous songs that every time someone wins, it became like they develop it, and everyone heard the song, and we are the champions, and blah blah blah. As Queen gained popularity, uh, I embraced my persona. Well, obviously, like being famous and all this stuff. Uh, it became a really part of my life. Obviously, like in my personal life, I was a little bit like I was homosexual, and and only because of the fact that I was like Freddie Mercury back then, it became like, well, we can pardon you for whatever you are, but I was really like. Uh, Embracing my persona, diving purpose into luxurious lifestyle. Uh, I was known, as you can see right now, uh, for my Lamborghini stages. You can see in each picture of this. Let me, yes, in each picture of this, you can see like every outfit I used to put off, uh, charismatic performances, but behind the scenes, I was introspecting, sometimes struggle with the pressure of fame. Despite my public persona, I keep much of my personal life private. Uh, Obviously, my luxurious outfits, such as I want to break free, uh, obviously the most iconic one, in which I was uh, I was putting with myself with a white shirt and white pants. Uh, one of the most iconic ones when I was performance with the guys back in Wembley, and I want to break free. Other iconic one when I was dressing as a woman and I was singing the song, and we were like I was doing some kind of innovation back then. And some other more like outfits used to wear back then, which they were like, I don't want to say like popular, but obviously they attract the attention of people. It, and more like if we were like one of the most prestigious band back in the 80s. Well, obviously, in my my private public life, uh, obviously my some of my excess uh, begin to be part of myself too. I began to face health challenges, which eventually led to my diagnosis of AIDS in 1987. Um, I continue to work and create music, compete to raise awareness about the disease. Something funny though is that when we were performing in our last song, named "The Show Must Go On," uh, uh, which was for by Brian May, uh, I was very bad, pretty bad with my throat. I couldn't uh, do as much as I can do, but I do the best, and I think that was like one of the best songs to close like a cycle which was unique, not only for me, for the guys himself who formed the band. Uh, on November 23rd, 1991, I passed away just one day after announcing my diagnosis to the world. My legacy lives on through the music. Uh, Obviously, the impact that it has throughout the world, like I showed you back then. Queen's music continues to resonate with fans, and I'm proud that my life and art has inspired many people. While I face challenges, I live passionately and authentically, and I live behind a message of love, acceptance, and the power of music. Uh, what else I can say? Not much more, because throughout my whole life, I do with passion, and obviously I inspire so many talented uh, singers that to today on uh, saw my example of music as a way it is. And well, with that I can say no more, but to thank you to pay attention, and I hope we meet up again. Stay cool.